Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Erasmus Expeditions. We are here tonight with a game that you might recognize, maybe. We're blowing the dust off of Thunder Ridge tonight. This is going to be session number 14 of our ongoing campaign titled Claim Jumpers. We are playing in a homebrew world of mine called Caldera, which is a fantasy western setting. There's a lot of other content on the channel that takes place in Caldera if you want to get some more of that good stuff. It was actually the very first thing that I ran on the channel. So yeah, we are using D&D 5e, allegedly, but don't hold it against us. I don't know what that means. I like D&D, so I'm going to pass things over to my players here in just a moment so that they can introduce themselves, tell you anything that they might have going on, or where you may or may not be able to find them on the internet. But before we do that, I'm going to give the same warning that I give on the beginning of all of my games, and that is, if foul language and mature subject matter are a problem for you, then do not stop here. Move along. I don't know why that warning became French, but I mean, you know what?
We flagged in your general direction.
We don't ask questions here. That's not how things work here. We just stumble forward, ever forward. Speaking of stumbling forward, I'm going to pass things over to my players now. So, starting things off, Chadley.
I will always stumble into your life, good sir. It's great. Listen, you know how this goes. On this channel, I believe I'm known as Chad Prime. And for I play Virtual Tomb Talent. It's been a minute since we played this game, so getting the dust off of, the dust off my feathers is a little bit hard to do. I play Virtual Tomb Talent. He's clearly racking up a number of different nooses around his neck and others, so I look forward to the ultimate TPK when it comes, because it probably will. My hand will be forced and things will happen. But yeah, where can you find me on the interwebs? You can certainly check my socials if you like, but most often you can find me right here on Erasmus or over on MTD every Thursday. In fact, I know we will be kicking off our season 4 of Kids on Bikes. What, next week? The 23rd, correct? Yeah.
Is that going to be the 23rd?
I think it's the 23rd.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah,
it'll be next Thursday.
So yeah, next Thursday, season 4, kicking off Kids on Bikes. Cannot wait. The new setting is going to be amazing. I'm very excited. And then, tomorrow night, you can find me on this channel, but I'm moving seats. I'm getting a chance to be GM, and I'm going to be running a lovely little game of Punk is Dead. It's a Morkborg offshoot where we play a band in the midst of post-apocalyptic London. Very Arthurian lore, very I'm so excited for what this group is going to be doing, and I cannot wait to run a game. I think in the first time in 5 years that I'm running one and doing it live. So this is really fun, guys. I cannot wait.
What time is that?
It'll be like 5:30 our time, Todd. So yeah, roughly.
Yeah, about half an hour before this one.
About half an hour usually. Yeah. No, it should be a two shot, I think. Okay. I'm planning it to be done in 2 sessions, but you know how that goes, Chad. Like, typically we say 2 sessions and then it goes.
That is strictly forbidden here on this channel.
I'm gonna try to keep it nice and tight, but I know my players and we will see where it goes.
We had a 9-episode one-shot.
Yeah, it's true. True.
I literally just finished a trilogy that was 5 sessions, so it's a problem I have.
It's a problem.
No, man, I'm really very much looking forward to both season 4 of Paradise kicking off, as well as Punk is Dead tomorrow night. We're called
Yeah.
the Once and Future Band, which is fucking badass. I love it. Yeah, very much looking forward to that. Okay. Speaking of very much looking forward to that, next up is Nathan.
Thank you, thank you. I just to piggyback off of Chad really quick before I go into my spiel. I'm playing the drummer in that game tomorrow, and I plan on banging out more than 2 sessions. I'm just saying. I'm a part of this, and I'm usually one of the culprits that ends up driving these games a little farther, whether I intend to or not. We're just gonna pretend it's innocent, but it might not.
Listen,
Anyway.
I have enough content planned for 2 sessions, but if y'all want to keep it running, I'm all for it.
I am Nathan, also known as Dimension 119. That's where you can find me on all of the socials. Once upon a time, I had a Twitch channel. There's probably some clips floating around on Twitch still. Definitely have a YouTube channel still where you can find some of the DVD, the D&D live plays we used to do. I am on this channel as often as I possibly can, which has been a lot recently, and I'm happy about it. And as far as I can tell, it's a lot in the future. I think I'm in 3 different games coming up. That's could be on this channel in the near future. So I'm excited for all of that. I am also on YouTube under the name Two Beards and a Producer. I'm one of the beards. We talk about Project Zomboid and DayZ, the 2 survival games. We've recently started that back up and gotten rolling. And we've got some pretty cool stuff coming up. I'm excited to see what we can do this year, the rest of this year, and see where we get. I am also both sadly and happily not playing the Moist Man tonight, or the Moist Fella. I'll be doing Dusty Reynolds tonight, so I'll be a Coyote Fella instead. I'm excited to get back in the saddle and ride out with these guys.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, Dusty is kind of the opposite of Moist by its definition.
True.
All right. Speaking of Moist Fella, next up is Todd.
Gee, thanks.
You're
I'm
welcome.
not sure where to go with that one. I'm Todd. I play Elias Stock and Owlin Gunslinger, and that's pretty much it.
Fuck yeah, it is, man. All right. Speaking of pretty much it, next up is Glenn.
That's right. I'm Glenn. I play Marco Escuandolas. Formerly played Saul. He's dead. Go back and watch the episodes. If you're really old school and cool on the internet, you'll know me probably from my time as an admin on Multicomp Services bulletin board service up until 1997 or 98. Other than that,
That's
I haven't
where
really
I
done
know
that.
you.
Yeah. And then I'm looking forward to continuing to work on this trilogy. Here we got another 8 or 10 sessions.
Words. They don't have any meaning. Speaking of words that don't have any meaning, last but certainly not least, Chad.
Oh, yes, I love it. Oh, you can find me on Disney Plus, actually. I was a minor though, so don't look. You can find me on Netflix and Hulu too. Once again, minor, don't look. And you can find me here. Ta-da! It's one of my favorite places you can find me on the internet, actually. I am playing Lucky Lass. I'm herring what's left of me. And then it's all put back together inside this piece of armor. And I'm supposed to the little tiniest one out of all of us who's only already torn in half. And, he let him tank for us, put him out in front. Definitely tried to die a couple times and he's still here. So he's lucky, I guess they call it. And it's always been a pleasure to play with Jeremy and Chad all these years. And it's been a great honor to be able to have Glenn and Todd and Nathan all join us. And there's other places. I have to mention that Chad dropped MTD, for those of you who don't know, is Mini Terrain Domain. And that is a place you could check out that's just like this. in I'll leave it at that. And you could also go to a place called Absolute Tabletop, which is where I was fortunate enough to meet Jeremy and Chad. And so you can end up in games like this or even run your own. They're on different platforms. So whatever you do on the doobly doos, the Facebooks or whatever, that's what I did back in the day. That's saying, don't tell them my age. They won't know if you don't tell them, they'll never know. And so then I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much.
Hell yeah, man. I was going to see if I could grab an ad tab book real quick. I don't know. I've got one. Aeronath, right here. Yeah. It's one of the first things of theirs that I bought. Very cool, like, dwarven city. But yeah, AbTab has been putting out really cool gaming material for years and years and years. They also are just really good people.
Often even free. Check out Harbinger.
Yeah. Yeah, Harbinger is in playtest, and it's a really, really fun system.
And go over there and pester them about an AtCon.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, yes, Jake is a very good friend, as well as a person I am lucky enough to game with pretty often on both sides of the screen. So definitely go check out MTD. And I believe not this coming Sunday, but the next Sunday is the Stashwick Nerd Circus charity that's going down. The next Eleanor game where they're going to be raising money for Pavlov Foundation. He'll have a bunch of people on. He's going to have Katie Sackhoff, who played Starbuck, and Bo-Katan.
Thank you. That's the more important role, exactly. In my opinion.
Emily Swallow, who is the armorer from The Mandalorian, is going to be on there. I don't know her name, but one of the actresses that was in Yellow Jackets is going to be playing. So yeah, it's really cool. It's good to see people that don't play frequently kind of fall in love with the game while they're playing for a charity, which is a lot of fun. So yeah. Anyways, there's your free plug, Jake. I think without further ado, I think we can go ahead and get started.
Okay.
Grogu? Okay. Yeah, let's play Space Cowboys. Not Space Cowboys.
Just
Magic
Cowboys. Yeah.
That's the next setting.
Yeah, we're gonna combine Chrome City and Caldera.
Ooh.
Did Jeremy just accidentally give us a hint on what's happening tonight?
That portal we were supposed to go through?
I'll bring in Kahiti if you want.
If we give Virgil another scroll, we might end up in space.
Could.
Well, part of us, at least.
We're always in space, in our hearts.
Anytime you give a bird a cookie, he will rip a limb off. Like that's how we're learning.
I missed that book as a kid.
Yeah.
Is that a Dr. Seuss?
Give a bird a scroll, lose a limb. That's how it goes.
You had a very
Give
different
a bird
childhood.
a scroll, obtain a new hole.
Whoa. Whoa.
That could be good or
Some
bad.
People pay good money for that. All right.
Because of that.
Here we go. Many folks like to spin yarns about how these lands swallowed up the Dorathians. Fitting, then, that it seems like the Caldera is constantly trying to spit out Easterners like it was a bad bite of chow. And when you're trying your best to carve out a living out of this reluctant rock and hostile dirt, there's one transgression you simply can't abide. Murder and violence, given enough reason, become just another acceptable feature of the landscape. But stealing property that belongs to someone else, especially something necessary to make it in these unforgiven territories, is just about as vile a sin as one could commit. Ironic, given that all this countryside and the things being dug up from it all belonged to someone else before we rode up. we catch up with the posse fresh after the battle, the ambush that had been laid by Trophy Morgraf and his gun hands. They came mainly for Lucky, but it seemed like that they were perfectly fine with trying to take out all of you at once. However, it didn't really go as they had hoped. His entire gang, if I'm not mistaken, were all gunned down. I don't think any of them managed to get away. And Trophy himself ended up being soup, if I'm not mistaken. So, as we rejoin the five of you, not far outside of Coalbox Canyon, where you had just exited when this ambush took place, what are you doing? What is the general conversation like?
I'd be wiping off turtle blood off of a reclaimer badge that I'm now adorning to my armor. Now it's my trophy.
Very nice.
I'm gonna take your foot back.
Yeah, he did. He crumbled them up.
You could take his foot.
I mean, that's probably the part I ate. You had his ass.
I've been
You're the
known to
new guy. You know,
eat ass. There's nothing wrong with eating ass.
that's what I hear.
Sometimes it can be quite amazing.
I've seen
speaking of-
Dusty lick his own all the time.
I could lick. Well, I do lick my own. But anyways, it's Baxi after all. That was a lot easier than going to town to kill him. Should we just bring everyone else here, or?
Well, what's the situation going to be like back there if they were running things?
We didn't really get a chance to question anyone.
Well, they're the kind of the reason we left. And, now they're gone, so we might be able to go back.
True. Is there anyone else looking for you? A new sheriff?
Not me, I don't think, but
Virgil?
him on the other
Yeah,
hand.
probably myself. Yep. I gotta say though, if they find out they've already ambushed us once, which means if the word gets out that old Morgrath is dead, they gonna keep coming for us. Send the whole team after us.
I'd like to know how they found us.
I'd like to know that as well.
Because did anyone even know where we were? The sheriff? Old sheriff, what's her name? The hot one. Did we even tell her?
I think, honestly, if I
Yeah, I don't
remember
know. At that
correctly,
table, did we tell her?
I thought that we did swing by and let her know because she's
Y'all
not the sheriff
definitely went and
anymore.
talked to her, but I don't know if you
Mhm.
told her where you were.
I think we just
headed.
told her we were leaving. I don't think we told
we
her
were
where
gonna
would
be
go.
leaving town.
Yeah.
The only point being is if we did tell her, then that's probably the only way they would have found out where we were. Other than, I am not aware of this, but I believe certain people in the past decided to ambush somebody else here and kill some folks in the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't know
Well-
what kind of unsavory characters would do such things, but
Well, here's the thing. I could Now, I know Lucky wants to use that their skull as a trophy. I could plant this tomahawk in that skull, and we could speak with it.
I mean,
Or
if
we
you
could
wanna
use it
talk to
on.
him.
We
I mean, that'd
could
be
use it on
entertaining
one of the
in a way
other
we do it.
corpses too.
I mean, how many? Is it a party trick? Can you do that as many skulls as we want?
Let me consult the little tag here on the tomahawk itself.
Let me
and,
consult
I'll
this
let you know.
here magical user's manual here now.
I believe it's called the terms and conditions.
You mean this
Oh,
little
look at
tag?
that. Ooh.
This old thing here requires you
Kishkihile.
to make a...
The tomahawk you were using is Kishkihile.
Do believe it has 5 uses.
Yeah, it has. It regains 1d4 plus 1 expended daily charges at dawn. If you expend the last one, you have to roll a d20, and on a 1, it crumbles into nothing.
I think we should still use it on the turtle just for fun. Like, Lucky, if you want to say anything to him again, it's a good chance. Then,
I mean-
is there a giant skull in there? Because holy shit, we should use that on the giant skull. Like, that thing's got to know some stuff.
Marco, you're growing on me. I do miss Soul, though.
Yeah.
We
hear he was
could
very
talk to
handy.
him as well.
I don't think his skull is still around.
We did bury it, I guess.
He wasn't the type to want to come back.
I don't think he did a lot of thinking with his head, anyways.
One of them.
Well, if we want to talk to Turtle Man again or any of his minions, I believe I just need to plant this tomahawk in the skull, and then we
That-
can ask away.
Sounds horrendous. Let's do it.
I guess I'm doing it.
I mean, even if it's just to torture the guy.
I'm gonna watch and I'm gonna listen, but I think Virgil is more concerned that if Morgrath found us, how long do we have until other parties who are interested in finding us find us? So I think he's keeping a lookout while this interrogation is happening.
Does your tomahawk require him to actually answer the questions or be honest? He's not a very nice person. Turtle, whatever he was.
Nah, he's a dick.
It just allows me to speak with the dead. We have 5 questions to ask it.
Maybe you could ask him why he's such a dick.
I
We have
could.
5 questions to ask it. If we
That
get
sounds
our
like an
answers-
important one.
If we get our answers before the 5, we could.
Oh, okay. I just assumed he wasn't hugged enough as a child or something.
If we don't anticipate much action, I could compel them to potentially. We would at least know if they're speaking the truth.
Oh, you like make a circle for that?
I can make a zone, not a circle.
Ooh,
It's
okay,
updated nowadays.
okay.
I can do I can do fancy shapes if you want.
Oh,
Void.
I haven't learned that. I've read about it. I haven't learned that one yet.
I have a dodecahedron of truth.
The odds of that.
Speaking of which, I need to actually get my dice.
Meh.
I'm on break.
Meh. Yeah.
I would present the school to you to do that for sure. I'm not gonna
Yeah, as soon as
hold
you
you back.
get ready to hit that thing, I'll cast Zone of Truth, and then
Okay.
oh,
So you're gonna do a little combo, Zone of Truth, Speak with Dead.
Are you doing
Do y'all
that as a
want to?
ritual?
Do y'all want
No, it
to?
doesn't have ritual as an option.
Okay, sorry. Sorry, Jeremy, what were you saying?
No, you're good. Do y'all want to discuss what the 5 questions are going to be ahead of time,
Where's
or
the
you just
fun
want
in
to?
that? All
Before
on
he's
Dusty.
just
I
no, he
mean,
could just sit there and wait and have us. We got 5 questions. He can wait and listen to them all.
Fine with me. It's my favorite scene from the new movie.
Oh, I love this one. Dusty, it's all you, man. It's your axe. So the truth is cast.
Okay.
I don't know what the questions are, but yeah, I'll strike while the skull is dead, I guess.
All right. You sink this like stone and wood axe, this very kind of like crude, primitive looking weapon, into the skull of Trophy Morgraph. And after a brief moment, there's an unholy light that kind of like causes these little pinpricks of illumination to appear in his like eye sockets, and his lower beak, jaw, I guess is what it would be for a turtle, like turns and hangs slightly agap regarding you.
Well, ask away, gentlemen.
Oh, wait. I remember something else about the axe. I think also.
Forgot about that.
Oh my
It curses
goodness.
you.
You've take.
You
You'll
instantly
change places.
die. Yeah,
What
your
would that
head
say?
is actually the one with the axe in it. If you do so, flowering plants and fungus temporarily grow over the skull to vaguely resemble the deceased's face in life before it speaks.
Oh, yes.
So, I forgot that was a part of this weapon.
I'm going to doff my armor and
Uh-oh.
sit my bare hair ass on top of the skull while you ask its questions.
You do realize that
There's
means
a-
I'm staring at your junk.
There's a tomahawk up there too, by the way.
I think rabbits they like go in, right? So you wouldn't see it right now.
The
I'm
tomahawk?
I'm not excited.
Oh,
Yeah,
ho.
not you want to see my tomahawk right now.
Well then, hola, trophy.
There we go. Okay.
So the plan is to just ask him 4 questions and leave him trapped in this hell for the rest of time, right?
Now you're thinking my style.
Okay, so yeah, these kind of like mushrooms and moss have kind of like grown over the skull to somewhat resemble Morgraph, which I mean doesn't mean a lot because he kind of resembled a skull in the first place.
Guess the
Yes.
first question
Zone of
is.
truth, right?
Yep, I cast Zone of Truth, so he's in that.
Okay.
And then first question we should ask is how we're talking before we talk to him, I guess. How he found us, right? So, Dusty, ask him how we found us.
I think Dusty's first question is who sent him.
Steven.
That's phylactery.
He says, I came looking for Lucky. The rest of you were just icing on the cake.
My
think
cake's
Whale.
after the turtle soup.
Well, how did you know where to look for Lucky?
There's a man who works for Wellington Rails. A pretty gifted spellcaster. I believe you already met him. Name Henry Tuttle.
Who knows he was coming to ambush us?
Who knew you were coming here? Besides, these others that died with you.
Tiberius Wellington.
Well, shit.
Oscar Bennett also knows. Y'all aren't hard to follow. Especially when you head out in the snow.
You might want to ask him what's gonna happen now that if he doesn't come back. You might want, I would say, obviously.
And what if you didn't return? What was the plan then?
Can't say I had figured it was gonna be the outcome. Otherwise, maybe I wouldn't have come. But I imagine it ends with all 5 of you swinging.
That sounds like a lovely time. Why are you such a dick?
That's 5.
I wasn't hugged enough as a child.
Can you blame your parents? Look at you.
Hey, that's one too many questions, sir, Padre.
That was not a question. That was a statement. I guess it was a question. Can you blame your parents? I guess you shouldn't say that. Yeah, don't answer that. So none of that came out as false, right?
No,
No,
none of it came out as false. And once he answers the 5th and final question, the plants and fungus that kind of had formed his facial features kind of instantly wither and dry up and fall away from his skull, and the little pinpricks of light that were in the depths of his eyes are now dark again.
We have like 9 more minutes if you just want to fuck with anybody else who's dead. You can ask them questions. Like really personal stuff. They won't be able to lie. We could get bank accounts.
Can you just stab him in the head again and get 5 more questions at him?
I think it crumbled away.
Oh,
Unfortunately, it won't work on him for a few days.
well, I'll still have it then. So
If we survive for 10 days, we could do it again.
oh, that sounds like something to celebrate.
Go get the
Well,
giant skull.
Do my skull. Do my skull.
Let's go. Hit me.
I was gonna ask a question, and then I just saw the last 2 items in chat.
You're up to speed.
When did we take out Tuttle? Because now I'm questioning whether that was actually a thing.
You were
or whether he's been
referencing.
brought back.
Oh, you were referencing Tuttle. I thought you were asking about. Didn't you kill Morgraph? Sorry.
Yeah.
No. So Henry Tuttle was the individual in the carriage that you robbed.
Moved away, right?
And he got away through magic means just before the carriage went over the edge of the cliff.
In the first episode, first session.
And is he back in town? Did we already see him back?
You have not seen him in town. This is the first that you're hearing that he's in town. You know that he was bound there.
Did we know that was him that was in the carriage?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't, but I think you guys recognize, somebody in the group recognized that person when we were attacking them.
Which person that you were attacking?
This is when the like episode 1 when we killed.
Oh yes,
We tried to kill Tuttle, but we ended up killing his driver and all of the horses. that
Yep.
were attached to the carriage.
Yeah, everybody other than Tuttle died.
Right. But we saw that person and then we thought teleported away.
Yes. Yeah, that was definitely the consensus of the group was that he had used magic to teleport somehow, leaving behind the real prize, which is the money that you guys are still trying to figure out where you want to hide.
Our initial investment capital.
Mhm.
We also kind of made it look like it was the natives, right? But
So
that wasn't
there
until
was
after.
There was a native there.
There was a Dorathian, who
Yeah,
had
that's
shown
right.
up right about the time that y'all ambushed. Kind of like as it came into view, you could see him riding up on a horse and like jumping onto the back of the
That's right.
carriage. He definitely rode off, but the carriage itself had fallen into Coalbox Canyon. So you guys had basically just decided it doesn't matter because nobody's going to go there. And then that's where y'all have a base now. But
Yeah,
it's
then we
still
laundered the money through the horses from the Dorathians
correct. Yeah,
to help us launder that out the first
Yeah.
at least a portion
that's
of it. I
where-
think you still have some of the platinum.
So that's where we kind of frame them a little bit too.
Yeah. We had a copacetic relationship with them at one point,
I
thanks
mean,
to
not,
the
not
war.
intentionally, just
Yeah.
as far as the railroad's concerned.
We made amends
They
to an
would
extent.
see. Yeah, they would see maybe the Dorathians did that, right? So
I don't think that worked though, since they came looking for us.
fair enough. We also did gun down their people in the streets. So
But speaking of gunning down people in the streets, do we want to try to go kill the sheriff now then? Or because right now it's Oscar Bennett that we know will come looking for us.
And then
Well,
put-
Oscar Bennett knows where we were and that Turtle Man here was coming after us, but so does apparently Tiberius Wellington.
We're going to gun him down anyways.
Well,
What's-
yes.
the extent of what they saw, and they can see us right now. So
Well, scrying on me.
we have to assume they know anything, right? So
Well,
what's the play there?
they at least know that we're here or that we're hiding here.
And they're gonna have to send more guys next time.
Sure they will.
Or at least a
Suspect
strong
we have
one.
a few hours, right? I mean, it's traffic
I
this
would-
time of day.
I would assume we have a small amount of time because you got to give them enough time to start to wonder if Trophy did his job.
Or they're watching us right now, and then we need to kind of hurry because it's them or us.
True. Do any of us have a way to find that out? Short
I
of finding Mr. Wizard?
mean, I think I have a thing or two in my reclaimer repertoire that may help with that. I would attempt to detect magic.
Okay. And is that just like an aura around you, or is it something you have to like focus on specific?
Yeah, it's an aura
things,
for
or-
X amount of minutes or whatnot.
Okay, cool. So you take a look around. You see the things that you would expect to see, the items that several of you are now carrying, that do have like a color or a glow to them whenever you have this active. But you don't really see anything else that stands out to you as being magical. There might be little plumes of like a hint of magic that's carried on the wind or something like that, but nothing substantial.
Nothing that I can sense within at least like 30 feet. But he could be casting it further away, or maybe it's already over. I'm just assuming the worst at this point.
large.
Well,
Options haven't changed much, really. I mean, when you think about it, we can go back and talk to the sheriff, or we can the old sheriff, or we could go to the mission again, or to the church. But,
I mean, we might want to at least take some kind of breather before we head straight after the new sheriff guy. But maybe we could go and visit the old sheriff lady. See if she wants to help get her job back.
oh well,
Yeah, I think-
she already was kind of on board for that, I do
Yeah.
believe.
I think she was trying to get us additional resources from the town, right? Other
Well, then now that sounds like the best place to go for now.
Hmm.
She'll probably even let us catch some Z's there if we need to.
I think we just woke up.
Yeah, you
I think
guys
we
had
woke up, stepped out, and got in a fight.
well, yeah, you had come out of the, because like you were in a cave at the end of Coalbox Canyon, and so like you had come out of the cave, rode through Coalbox Canyon back to where it kind of like opens up, and as you were leaving Coalbox Canyon, that's where you got ambushed. So you've been on the road for an hour or two,
Okay.
but that's about it.
Solid
Well,
full day's
Some of
work.
us had a bad time of it, though, right?
yeah,
So-
you had a
Oh, yeah.
meal, so
We short rested already, though, right? Like or have we
you
not?
could have while you were
I think we did.
eating your enemies.
I
Yeah,
think that's
'cause I'm
exactly
sitting
what we
like-
did.
Yeah, because I'm sitting at pretty close to max right now. I don't think I had it that bad that turn though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm close to max too.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I used Cure Wounds.
So yeah, you definitely could have taken a short rest.
Oh, shit, I still have dynamite.
Oh, yeah, so do I.
I I think that on the way to speak to the sheriff, we should decide if we're gonna go directly for Tiberius or Oscar, or maybe we should find out if the sheriff might know anything about where this Tuttle fella is. Could be useful in the long term to take him out, kind of cripple the rest, if so to speak.
If not, Oscar Bennett's skull could probably tell us.
My thoughts we could blow up the sheriff in the jail. Then while everyone's distracted, go kill Wellington.
Well, I will pose once again the question of how welcome do we want to be in Thunder Ridge when all this is over? Blowing up buildings may not make us very welcome.
I don't plan to retire there. Once we kill the railroad, what do you stay for? I'm not advocating for killing people in the streets who live there, but if needed.
Dusty has no words.
I do still have some places I could be.
We are on a righteous mission. Sometimes
I know I owe you guys. That guy's been looking for me. So I owe you. So I'm here to help, even though there's nothing really keeping me here anymore. Except for maybe a cut of that money, but you don't owe me that.
I am
But-
here to
We've turned that town upside down.
I'm here to kill Wellington. And not the Wellington that's there now, the real Wellington.
I want to destroy the railroad and everything it stands for.
If we do not destroy the railroad and we happen to destroy this town, while destroying the railroad, they were going to destroy the town anyways.
We might want to try and save what we can of it, though.
Oh, sure. I doubt everyone will die. I'm not saying we go shoot everyone. I'm just saying, like, the sheriff's not a good guy. Bad guy.
No. Mm-mm.
In theory, no good guys will be in jail, right? Why would you be a good guy in jail? None of us are good guys. We've been in jail.
Well, the thing is, you got a bad guy running the jail. There's no telling who he's putting in there. He's
We can
definitely not putting his friends in there.
No. And not worse people either.
Let's go see the old sheriff. Get word from her. If need be, we use the priest from the church to go give rights to those people in prison, in jail, find out who's there, and then decide whether or not we blow them up.
I'm on the first step with you for sure. We go to Cheryl's.
I mean, being vocally self-critical, I'm pretty much the dynamite's making a hole in my pocket. They say, right? Like it's itching desires.
If only you wouldn't have remembered you had that.
It feels a bit wasteful after the last battle, yes.
I mean, we could have beat him and had turtle soup all at the same time.
Is there a way for us to get more dynamite?
I would also like to point out one last thing. If we blow things up too much, I can't use the tomahawk to talk to Mr. Bennett. Just consider that as well when you're deciding what kind of destruction you're dealing
How much
with.
of a skull do you need?
The skull is pretty durable. Most durable part of the body. It might survive exploding.
Hardest bone in the body, Dorn.
I think it just needs a mouth. Chad, the Padre is talking about blowing up buildings in town, specifically the sheriff's office.
One building. If I didn't care, I'd say we blow up Wellington in the hotel.
That'd be fun.
I'm open. I just didn't think you would be.
I mean, for scientific purposes, I'm interested.
It's not like he's living in an orphanage.
I thought the purpose of us coming out this way was so that we could provide a space that would make us less conspicuous to the township.
Well, I mean, I don't really care what the town thinks. I care what the people we want to kill think. And one of them was this guy who found us. That problem solved.
Yeah,
First
we
of all,
found-
pat on your
found out
back, buddy. Good job. Well done. On to step 2. Sheriff. Step 3, Wellington. Step 4, Wellington's dad. Or uncle, or whatever.
You missed that they can see us
Potentially.
or have seen us magically.
Ooh, alternative fun option. How far to the town that has the railroad? We could just blow the train up. That'll get attention.
And attention out of Thunder Ridge.
I've never blown up a train. I actually don't know if I have or not. I should look into that.
It actually looks really cool if you do it right. You can make it where it implodes on itself and it like turns into spaghetti.
It's not fun.
That's actually real. If you Google it, it looks really cool.
Yeah, the boiler explosions from back in the day when all the internal YouTubes would pop over.
Yeah.
So
Look at
Laz and
Virgil.
I seem to be on board for blowing some shit up and killing some folks.
Virgil is now looking over at this group of his makeshift posse. And trying to decide what is the smartest thing to do in this moment.
Why start doing smart things now, Virgil?
Because I don't want to die, son. That is why I'm making smart decisions, because I don't want to die.
Well, Dusty and I were at least in agreement with Marco that we would go see the old sheriff.
Uh-huh.
And then there was some other blowing up and stuff that happened after that that we didn't all necessarily agree on, but we did discuss.
We put a pin in it for now.
Yes. But Sheriff, in my opinion, she's still a sheriff. Donastasia, she could probably was getting some people together and stuff for us, so maybe we could have them join us.
In the
I would
blowing up.
imagine that is probably for the best that we add to our numbers, because if that is the case, that Morgrath and them all, they're going to start coming all at once. You understand? One part of the posse, if they knew where we were and what our plan was and what our motives were, they are going to come at us from all angles. And everybody will be there. So I'm just preparing myself for the inevitable. And if you want to blow shit up, feel free. I will not say anything against it. But can we please probably not blow up Thunder Ridge? I think we've already made an agreement that that town was to be protected because we were going to be, as far as I remember, Dusty, we were going to be honorary deputies. Was I wrong in that? Except for
Well-
myself, because they have already implicated me in a gunfight. But as far as the rest of you,
Well, no one else seems interested in anything that happens to the town after the fact. So
all right,
might just be the two of us at the moment.
The town's fate is sealed. Either portions of it survive us, or portions of it survive the railroad. But Thunder Ridge will never be the same.
You're not wrong. Okay, so what exactly is the premise? We take as much dynamite as we can,
My thought was we
blow up the inn?
go to, well, yes, that was part of it, but that felt a little harsh. So we thought maybe perhaps we get the sheriff, talk to the sheriff. We use the priest from the church to go find out who's in the jail. Dusty had a good point that perhaps good people are in jail now because bad sheriff could happen. Once we
Good point.
acknowledge that no one important is in the jail, we blow up the jail with the sheriff. Minimum, that's a good distraction to go kill Wellington's cousin or nephew or whatever he is. And then perhaps we make him an effigy in the middle of town so that everybody knows that the railroad's not welcome, and maybe then there's bigger people come, and then we kill them, and then we keep doing that until the last people we want to kill show up. And if that doesn't work, we go down to Windy Peak, and we start killing people there.
So you want to make a kill box then?
That sounds like a good idea, too. I really wanted to blow up the sheriff and kill Wellington and then kind of work it out from there.
All right, then. Listen. At this point, I am willing to fly with either of you. Any of those ideas sound fair. So I tip my hat to the rest of you. I go where you want.
Virgil, one other question. Do you happen to have a way to either stop us from being magically viewed or find out if we are being magically viewed? I don't believe you were over here when we had that conversation.
Now let me take a look. Let me see what I kind of like. You see him like ruffling through his duster, checking for like trinkets or tinctures or whatever on top of.
Hopefully not a scroll.
I mean, if he uses a scroll to try to find out if somebody's watching us, would that backfire on the person that's watching us? It might work out in our favor.
This is Virgil we're talking about. Who's it gonna backfire on?
Dusty.
Yeah, you might want to not stand so close this
Are
time.
you still losing? Are you still down a limb, Dusty? Limpy, we should call you, I guess.
It was an
Same.
arm. It was
Yeah.
it was an arm, and Lucky technically replaced it.
He does
Okay.
have a prosthetic.
Oh, that's right.
You gotta make Virgil one, I guess, so he doesn't limp around. He's limpy.
Mhm. Yeah, he's missing his foot. A little buzzard foot. Okay. So I heard a lot of things thrown around.
I think we're
A
going
lot
to
of-
the sheriff.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's
The
the first
old
step.
sheriff.
First
Yeah,
step.
the old
The
sheriff.
ex-sheriff,
She
right.
might talk us out of blowing up half the town. We'll see.
Okay. So, yeah, you kind of like circumnavigate the town, kind of giving it, as wide of a berth as you can, so that you don't have to, ride through the center of it or anything. To where you last found Searle is the name that she goes by. Last time that we saw her, she was surrounded by empty bottles, and was not entirely coherent.
It was me and Glenn's character, right?
One more time.
Yeah, I think it was the two of us. The two of us went to see her. On
Okay,
that one.
yeah,
So-
it might not have been everybody.
I get confused sometimes. I know
Sure.
that Saul is known and wanted, but has Marco done anything in town to tip off everybody that he's running with this group?
Not to my knowledge.
The only thing you've done in town that I remember that kind of connects you with us for anybody is talking to the sheriff with Dusty, and then I believe you brought us to the church in town at one point, but we
That
did
is
it,
true.
like, at night.
Yeah, but that's
So-
the only person
so-
who knows that is the other priest.
Yeah. So
Right.
whoever's at the church, the other priest, I guess, would know, and I think that's it as far as we know.
Yeah.
He's
I mean,
the-
I can also go get the sheriff and bring the sheriff to us. Then
I
shoot him in
think-
the head while you're talking to him.
I think the priest at the church is the blind elf that has like the
Yep.
like sugar glider companion or whatever.
Yeah. He didn't seem like he was going to go spilling a bunch of information to anybody.
No, he seems like a kind of let bygones be bygones type.
Yeah, but with reclaimers in town, they can shake down anybody.
That is true.
Are
And
there any reclaimers left? We just killed like most of them.
You just ate one of them.
I would think that, well, they still have like their military presence, I think. I don't think they sent the entire detachment after us, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, let's go see.
They still got the
Okay.
sheriff and some other people planted in town anyways.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you kind of just like announcing yourself, or are you just riding up on this place? What's the general approach?
Dusty, she likes you.
Yeah, if Dusty already went, maybe you should.
I am been told I'm off-putting.
I think I'll ride side by side with Dusty then.
Okay. Dusty and Virgil are approaching on horseback, on foot.
I imagine on horseback.
On horseback.
Okay. So you're riding up, and you're, kind of coming into the clearing that surrounds the building, and you hear a rifle chamber around. That's far enough. You hear from a kind of disembodied voice.
Is that you, Sheriff?
Maybe.
It's Dusty and Virgil.
You alone?
Well, we got some of our other people behind us, but none of the people you're probably worried about, as far as we know.
Fucking worried about everybody.
That's sweet.
Except us, I hope.
Well, that's yet to be seen. She comes out from underneath the porch, which is not where you were expecting her to be. She kind of like crawls out from underneath and stands up, kind of dusts the snow off of her. You can see where you thought, she might have been was like a hat and a coat that had been like propped up in the window.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She slings the strap to the rifle kind of over her shoulder. She's wearing like what looks like a bear fur jacket, like over her clothes, and has her hat kind of pulled down tight. The hell are y'all doing back in town so soon?
Well, we got ambushed. Dear Sheriff.
Ambush? Somebody rode out and found you?
You familiar with a rather raucous turtle by the name of Morgrath?
She kind of like leans back and pulls up the brim of her hat a little. Trophy Morgraph? The Reclaimer?
Yeah. Him and a whole posse of his men done cut us off at the pass. We was trying to just,
For a bunch of folks that are trying to avoid trouble, you sure as hell
seem
do
to
step in
avoid
it often.
Yeah.
That trouble does seem to like us as much as we try to play hard to get.
Preferable to embrace it.
Since you're sitting here in a saddle talking to me, I suppose that means that Captain Morgrath is going to be pushing up daisies come spring.
Yep.
Well, in a lot different way than you think.
Well, she kind of shakes her head in disbelief. Well, what do you need me for?
We came to you for some advice.
My advice would be don't kill reclaimers.
Well, seems they're going to be coming after us no matter what. So now, the question is, you are the sheriff on the outs, and this here Bennett is the sheriff on the inside. Now,
Oscar Bennett ain't no sheriff. He's a piece of shit. He always has been.
I know. Look, you don't got to tell me twice. I saw his name on the board, and I knew immediately that we won't welcome back in that town until he's gone. So, here's the thing. Me and the boys have been thinking. Now, either we can do one of two things. We've already kicked this keg off as it is, this powder keg.
I'd say so.
So, either we can stay here in Thunder Ridge, make our plan of attack, take out, and again, I don't say this to try and make things worse, but let's be honest, you would like to have your job back, I imagine.
Yeah, we already talked about this, didn't we? She kind of looks
Yep.
at Dusty.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are members of our party that like to rehash things from time to time. You just kind of have to go with it. Listen, it's been a long time since we had that conversation with everybody. So we're
All
just
I'm
kinda refreshing
saying,
things.
listen, all
I didn't
I'm
sober up for
saying,
nothing.
we would like to do you a favor and take old Bennett out. But the question is, how do we do it? We can take him out away from town, try to lure him away by potentially signaling to the railroad that we are here and we are ready, that the reclaimers can come and get us here in Thunder Ridge. That is step one. That also involves numerous explosives and numerous untoward sorts of
Kind of puts up a hand. Well, hold on now. You're talking about explosives?
the less you know, the better. All I'm saying is at the end of the day, I believe our ideas are in the same line. You would be able to return to Thunder Ridge, and we would be able to rid ourselves of, the Reclaimer scourge that tends to be the shadow on our backs.
Well, first and foremost, I would love it if you'd keep any kind of explosions out of my town that you possibly could.
All right.
I'd like to have a town to be sheriff of whenever this is all said and done, if at all possible.
Okay.
So, if you plan on taking this fight to the railroad, then maybe the railroad outside of town is the best place for you to do that. I don't mind if you blow up Windy Peak. That's fine. I don't care for the place much myself anyways, but Thunder Ridge, I'd rather it stay in one piece as much as possible.
That was also my thought process. You have been more than cordial over the few months that we have been here, and I don't want to see this place go up in smoke. So,
in exchange for you putting me back in office as sheriff and taking out Oscar Bennett so that I don't have to, I will probably just forget that I found feathers at the scene of a murder.
That would be very kind to you, ma'am. That'd be very kind.
Well, it ain't just the reclaimers that you got to worry about. Reclaimers are the dog, but you got to be worried about who's holding the leash.
Oh, you afraid that the whole railroad's going to come down on us?
You kicked the hornet's nest now. You tried to come between Wellington and a purchase? You got balls of solid brass. Wellington wants your asses in a sling. Reclaimers, that was just one of the methods he was going to use to get at you, especially because one of them had a hard-on for your buddy.
And let me ask you, is Wellington currently if I believe I understood this rumor correctly, is he here in town currently?
Not Ignatius.
Or is he on
not-
his way?
Ignatius is the one who owns Wellington Rail. He ain't here, but his cousin is. Tiberius Wellington. You want to talk about a piece of shit? He's a piece of shit who thinks he's a piece of gold.
I would prefer not to talk about him unless we're talking about my killing him.
That's exactly what we're working on there, Dusty. How
So
we
now-
kill that son bitch. Sorry, ma'am. I didn't.
Listen, y'all are roping me into an awful lot of murder and mayhem and chaos and destruction. I may not currently have a star pinned to my chest, but I am the law out here.
I understand. Listen, we respect your place here in Thunder Ridge. And when
I
we
appreciate
return this Thunder Ridge to you, we will mosey on out of here like you've never seen us. But we may need to do some unscrupulous things to get your Thunder Ridge back to where it belongs. So if you're willing to just, well, darling, just let us do what we fucking do, and
Darling?
sorry, ma'am, I forget my place.
Now listen, I'm willing to look the other way on some of this behavior because it's going to fix the problem that Thunder Ridge has. I'm keeping my hands as clean of it as I can,
Ain't no blood gonna be on yours.
so I can tell you what I know. I can try to help get you supplies if you need them. I can tell you who you might be able to trust in town, but that's going to be about it.
That's all we need is leads.
I can't have you staying here. I can't have you painting that kind of target on me. You got reclaimers. You're talking about taking out relatives of Mage Barons. I can't have that kind of heat here. If you want to take the fight and you want to start blowing shit up, and again, I'd appreciate it if you put a bit of distance between you and Thunder Ridge first.
You said Windy Peak, right?
You can blow the hell out of Windy Peak for all I care.
Well then, what's it look like? You're talking he like, I don't know what Windy Peak, I don't know if
Sure.
Virgil would know what Windy Peak looks like.
More
So I'm
th-
just trying to get like an idea
Yeah,
of what it
yeah.
looks like so that he can kind of make plans in his head if that's a good like
More than
ambush
likely,
spot. Mhm.
Virgil probably knows Windy Peak. Most of you probably do. It's
Okay.
a larger city that is the closest here, but it's not a large city by any stretch of the imagination. It's literally where the railroad ends in this area.
Gotcha.
It is downriver from Thunder Ridge. It's where the loggers actually float the timber down to, because there is a sawmill that is built in Windy Peak,
okay.
and they
Okay.
cut it into lumber, load it onto trains there. So
It's end of the line, you said, right?
it is end of the line currently.
It's got to have
The-
a roundabout.
The railroad is talking about trying to extend it to Thunder Ridge.
Okay.
But they got to be able to
that's
turn
the-
around the engine, right?
But yes, yeah.
Okay.
Let's go blow the shit out of that.
Yeah. All right.
That
And you could
cripples the
see
railroad.
that you could see like Virgil's head is turning and thinking. And Dusty, he looks to Dusty, he goes, "You want to mount up, get supplies, get the boys?" I think Windy Peak is a good spot to plan for. Now, question is, I think there's actually something we could do there, ma'am. I do. Would you say that perhaps, kind of looks to Dusty, what if we load one of those trains full of explosives and then we let it go on its merry way into town, and then we blow the train up on the turnaround?
How much fucking dynamite you got?
Well, I was just thinking that same thing because I don't think we've got quite a train load. I mean, we've probably got enough to hurt the railroad for a while, but we might need some more if we're gonna do all that.
Did the
All
rest
right.
of us come up yet, or are you guys just still chatting away?
Yeah, if the rest of you were on your way up, you could have approached. Absolutely.
So you had me at blowing up the railroad. Sheriff, you mentioned leads. Should we go to Windy Ridge? Perhaps additional materials could be procured.
What kind of
Before we head
materials you? What kind of material you asking after? You looking for blankets and lanterns and shit like that, or are you talking about
I mean, if they're
dynamite?
soaked in certain chemicals, I suppose dynamite would be great.
Ah,
Any arcane crystals that we might be able to pack in there? Hey, speaking of which, Lucky, didn't you pull something out of that little fellow you were burying?
Yeah, remember I was showing you?
Yeah. I mean,
I was wondering what else I could still do with it.
we could probably strap it to some dynamite and see what happened.
y'all killed someone else?
No. This was somebody who got killed while with them. Although I think, to be fair, from what I heard, you guys kind of did result in his death. But I don't think it was intentional.
I mean, I was almost dead with him.
True. Sort of an accidental, like, whoopsie.
Sure seem to be a lot of people who die in your company.
That's mostly Virgil.
Yeah.
He's got a whole thing where he, hangman. I don't know what it is.
Motif, right?
Yeah. I think it's just, people look at him and kind of assume that he's going to be the death of them.
All
Vulture
right,
and all.
look, I might be able to get you a handful of sticks of dynamite, maybe. But any more than that, it's going to raise some eyebrows. And again, like I'm fine with
about
helping
your-
you, but I ain't
What
sticking
about
my
your
neck out
logger
that far.
friends?
Yeah,
They got to be able to drop up. They've got to be able to bust up log jams, right?
there's definitely some dynamite that's kept in the general store in town for
Does
the lumber company.
do your lumber friends have any love for Wellington?
Well,
Perhaps anybody have
currently,
any hatred?
they're trying to sell the claim to the railroad company. That was the plan.
You and I both know they
till,
want to buy something they can take.
Well, they were meaning to. Apparently, Tuttle was on his way to deliver them the platinum whenever a gang of ne'er-do-wells
How convenient! A gang
jumped
of
his
ne'er-do-wells
carriage and
entered your town and stole that
the
away.
money.
And you, as the sheriff, left holding the blame. Couldn't write a better story myself.
Look, I don't trust the railroad as far as I can throw them. But they got money to throw around. That's for damn sure.
People with money to throw around tend to not throw it around. That's how they keep their money.
You may be right. But Deadfall Timber Company sure does think that they seem to mean to make good on their word. They're already starting to build a sawmill hill here in Thunder Ridge, so they're all in for having this railroad connect here.
What do they think of the updated management of the town?
Well, Bennett's a tool of the railroad. That much is clear. Anybody who's half a brain can see that. So, to tell you the truth, I don't know how Deadfall feels about it, but as of now, it seems like they're in bed with one another.
I guess
Speaking of Mr. Tuttle, I don't suppose, Sheriff, you'd have any idea where he might be resting his head right about now.
I'm not sure where he is now, but he was staying at the inn. Same place as Tiberius.
2 for 1.
Tuttle works for the railroad. You realize that, don't you?
Oh, yeah. We are very well aware of that.
There's something weird going on here, too. I came by last week to talk to the owner of the saloon, and Tuttle came up from the basement. He had been down in the cellar doing something, and he looked haggard, spent, like he was tired, exhausted. I don't know. Seems strange. Well,
Sheriff, if you'll buy our dynamite, perhaps we should check out the. I'm gonna look at these. I'm looking at all of the people around me, and I'm like, can any of you even go to the saloon without being recognized?
I can. I'm a reclaimer.
Fair point.
the sheriff is like shaking her head.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong, it could have just been
I think you're still clean.
a letter or something like that.
I'm clean as
But
well.
I did find if I'm not mistaken, I did find an actual wanted poster for Lucky on Trophy.
Yeah.
So
I think Virgil was made. Lucky was made. Elias was invisible, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Dusty, I think you got made when you took the guns off that other dude, right?
I don't know that anybody knows I took. I won the gun I have in a card game.
Card game. You're right. Yeah. So
Yeah, I don't know that Dusty is necessarily known for any of the crimes he's committed while here in Thunder Ridge.
I have not committed a single one. Thank you very much, sir.
Precisely.
So I think that I think there's only two of us that may not be known. I guess that all depends on how much Tuttle's able to see and find out.
They might consider me salt. They sent their solution after me, so
I mean, we could try. I mean, here's the thing. You guys are also talking about wanting to kill the sheriff before we leave town anyways. So we could go, the two of us that probably aren't wanted could go and to the saloon and see if we can dig up any information, and if something happens and the sheriff comes, you guys just be ready to to come in guns blazing, I guess.
I'm not really one for saloons. Do you guys have any contacts there?
The Padre's not one for saloons, but he's one for blowing up town buildings.
Man of God on a mission. You can do very nefarious things in the name of righteousness and still get away with it. Absolution.
Well, if Primrose is still there, she might be willing to help. Although we did give her a letter from Soul. And I believe that had some tickets in it. She may have left. We could find out.
think we should. I think we should check out the basement because that's a new twist, right? The whole basement and he came up looking haggard from the basement. So that would be fun and interesting. And I also think that if we're worried about the others, I don't want to split the party. So if we're worried about the others being seen, we could stop at the church, get you all vestment or like acolyte robes and shit, cover you up, make you look like monks, whatever. It's not a very good subterfuge, but should stop us from. Can't hurt to try to disguise yourselves. I mean, there's got to be more than one 7-foot vulture walking around.
Yeah, but is there more than one with only one talon?
To be fair, he had 2 last time they saw him.
True. That might be his disguise. He's just
There
a
you
different
go.
vulture.
I don't think he can hear us right now.
He laughed. He can hear us.
Yeah.
Nice.
Go ahead, brother.
There's also multiple, 7-foot vultures who ride around with coyotes and mechanical rabbits and owls.
Small that floats above his head. Is that owl?
Had that.
Commonplace in Thunder Ridge.
We
I forgot he had that.
we picked a really good party to stand out, and then have chosen a lot of subterfuge.
Yep.
This was
I think it was
supposed to be the posse
Attempted,
of
very
like
conspicuous.
Originally this game was supposed to be like the posse that was like guns blazing, go into any combat, it's fine. And then 90% of our 90% of our games have been subterfuge, trying to figure things out, trying to do these things, trying to do that.
We were supposed to be the party that would go in guns blazing and doing that. Then we got killed by little flying things.
Yeah.
We realized that maybe we didn't spec
The very
ourselves.
what, the 5th game? Yeah. Great. We're killing it, guys. Killing it. No, I think that
The meat wings there.
yeah. I think all of that is very good. I like this plan. I'm down to follow this plan. I think Virgil has become resolute in this, and I'm glad that we did this. And he is gonna shoot for the investigation part first, and then after the investigation part, Windy Peak, like setting up an ambush in Windy Peak for potentially giving them a beacon to come fight us. Like, hey, we're here. It's time. Come down and get some.
Fun twist.
Okay.
I think, Sheriff, if you would indulge us in your assistance in both acquiring the explosive and then being within, say, 120 feet of the basement of the saloon, should we desire the presence of the acting sheriff, not you, ma'am, we might be able to get word to you, and then you could alert him to some sort of disturbance where we eliminate that threat. And then bing, bang, boom, new election, you're back in office, assuming that you're elected back in. I don't think anyone's running against you. And then we take the newly acquired provisions you've given us and fuck off. Never to be seen again unless we need to hide somewhere.
She kind of scratches her neck. There's an awful lot of
The
killing.
blood's not technically on your hands. It's sort of adjacent to your hands.
Well, it's not exactly the way that I would have liked for it to be handled, but Suppose. We may be running out of options. I
He's a
will.
bad man. You've killed bad men before. It's no big deal.
Yeah, but typically with a gun in my hand and they're facing me.
We can make that happen too if you wish.
She looks like she's seriously contemplating that. If you can figure out a way for him to hang up his badge, I'll gladly gun him down in the street.
Does it have to be voluntary, or if it just happens to misplace it for a while?
Killing a sheriff is tricky business.
Not impossible.
If he still has the 10 pinned on him, he'd have to do something that I could prove had been breaking the law.
Well, Sheriff, when you acquired your star in this town, did you simply pick it up and put it on? Or was it
No.
awarded to you by the patrons of this fine village?
It was at the time.
And your successor, they were duly elected into this position?
Supposedly.
You were there for the election? Did you vote?
I did not.
Sounds to me as though the fraud's already been committed. The crime's already there. You're simply
Accusations
reestablishing
fly.
civic duty.
Accusations fly easier than bullets.
Yes, but
Like
dead
I
men are
said.
kind of hard to fight back.
You show me proof, and I'll shoot the bastard myself. There's got to be proof. Otherwise, you can take your plan to fruition. That's fine. I'll get you dynamite as much as I can. All right.
It's
Keep your
probably
down,
bad
man.
form to use phantasmal force to give her the proof she sees. I'm just kidding.
I love this. So yeah, I think at that point, I think Virgil would tip his hat to her and look to the group. Boys, I think we got our heading. Let's make it happen.
To the church. It's time for a wedding.
I hope you crazy bastards ride with Luz, because you're going to need all the help you can get.
Her grace shines upon us. Some of us, at least. We'll look at Virgil. I don't think she sees you so much, son. I think you're in the shade of a tree.
Always am. Doesn't really stop.
Nice breeze. Should be good to swing soon.
Yep. It will be. He kind of looks you over and looks at the rest of his posse. And you watch as he kind of sort of hangs his head a little bit and then like kind of tucks his hat, keeping the sun out of his eyes. And then he'll start trudging forward.
There's evidence to say that both Luz and the Gallow Tree both have power. So believing in one or the other, you're both right.
Perfect. Okay. With that, you ride off back towards town.
Towards another sheriff.
To the church, right? We're gonna get you guys disguised up and then go to the saloon.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, let's go check out that basement.
Start to head
Yeah.
to the church.
Are we all going to the church first, or are we going?
Oh, but I can go straight to the saloon. I just didn't know that we could ride Virgil and Laz into town without having them handcuffed. That's the other option. We could pretend to be bringing him in and then just shoot him when he steps out of his office.
Hey, Dusty, on the wanted poster, can I see it? I want to see if it has either my face or my helmet.
I believe I gave it to you. I don't know that we talked about what it has on it, other than I think your bounty was like $300 or something like that. But I think that's as far as we discussed. But you
We're
should
not
have.
Oddly, a full frontal nude image.
I mean, not odd enough, you know.
You got to see what Marco didn't get to see, or rather,
That's
what
right.
Dusty didn't get to see whenever he was questioning the skull earlier.
Full Burt Reynolds.
Amazing. Okay.
If it's my face, then I could try and don my helmet.
Yeah, I imagine that it probably has more than just your head. It's probably, waist up kind of thing, because part of Lucky's most identifiable features are the fact that he's got several prosthetics and mechanical parts. So that definitely would be depicted and or mentioned on the poster.
What's this mean, AKA Little Bunny Foo-Foo?
Yeah. Just for you, Mark. Just because you're a cat. I would doff my armor and just try to be in my clothes that would cover my prosthetics mostly. So
Okay. So yes to the church or no to the church?
yes.
That's you guys. I'm good. Okay, good.
Yes to the church. Okay. Cool. Okay, so you start to head your way to the church. The church is definitely closer to it's in town as opposed to like where the sheriff's home is, which is just kind of on the outskirts. And you kind of are, again, keeping your distance, kind of like riding around the town to get to the edge of the town that's closest to the church. And at one point, Dusty, you spot a figure up ahead. Looks like they're trudging through the snow. It's difficult to tell much about this individual because they're kind of like hunched. They've definitely got like layered like clothing on, and they're trudging through snow, so they're fairly deep in the snow. But it's definitely a person.
I guess I'm gonna kind of kick the horse into gear and get up that direction. See what's going on. See if somebody in trouble. What's going on? What's happening here?
All right, you kind of like run forward. You move your horse into higher gear or whatever. Trot over there, and as you get closer, you realize it's a child, like a boy, and he's got nothing more than like a comforter off of a bed, like a quilt, wrapped around him against this weather, and he is like trembling and shivering, and almost looks like he's like not 100% there.
You all right there, son?
He turns and looks up at you. You can see he's a human. He says, my mom and pa are dead. I decided I was gonna come to town on my own, and I got lost. I think it's very cold.
I think Dusty would climb down off the horse, and I'm sure he has some kind of jacket or something on, and I think he would take that off and like add it to the stuff the boy has, kind of a little more warmth. Where are you coming from? What happened to you, your mom and pa?
We got a homestead not far from here, and just the cold. Mom and pa went to sleep, and then they didn't wake up. I tried to stay around the house for a little while, but they never woke up. I started running out of food. And it's just so cold. I needed to find help, so I set out to try to find my way to town, but I thought it was back that way. He kind of turns and points back towards the direction that he's been kind of like walking from. But all the snow's so deep, like I said, I think I got turned around.
Yeah, I think that you have found help, son. If you'll have it, we are currently on our way into town and into the church. I believe the people there can help you.
Well, I'd be mighty glad for some help. Yes, sir. I appreciate the jacket.
The rest of the party riding up, I think kind of Dusty.
Yeah.
If so, Dusty's
I
like
think-
looking back to everybody
Yeah.
to make sure
Where-
this is
Mhm.
okay.
Where are you from, son? You said you're looking for. You trying to go back home?
No, trying to find help in town. Like I said, I live on a homestead not far back that way. And he kind of like turns around and looks, or maybe it's back that way. And he kind of points to like a slightly different direction.
And I think that there's this moment probably where Virgil's like looking down at him. You know, son, I think that perhaps destinies have been in your favor, because we would gladly take any lost souls under our wing. So feel free to come along with us. We just head to the church. We'll make sure you get safe.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I give Virgil a look when he says that about souls.
Yeah,
Don't you judge me.
it's definitely a little bit of a connotation.
I think that I think Dusty would. I think Dusty might have been waiting for Virgil to offer the kid a ride, and I think Dusty makes sure he lifts the boy onto his horse instead before Virgil can even have that chance after the soul comment.
As you kind of like reach down to pick this kiddo up, Dusty, you hear a voice that kind of calls out, Caleb. And this voice is a voice that you know well. This is the voice of Rose. Caleb, you come with me. The boy looks kind of off into the woods, kind of off to the side of where y'all are standing, where this voice seems to have come from.
I think Dusty's just froze. I think he's like very close to having picked this boy up and hears this and literally just as if the cold has blown over him, he doesn't move.
The boy kind of like looks up at you and then turns and looks back in the direction of this voice. And is anybody looking in the direction of the voice?
I am.
Yeah, I would think we heard someone randomly call out for Caleb or something. We'd probably look.
Mm-hmm. For those of you who do look, you see a woman who is translucent. You can see through her. She gives off like a pale, eerie glow, almost like the way the snow does in
hell no.
in moonlight. Everything about her eyes, her skin, her hair, her clothing appear with this kind of like white moon-like glow. And you can see behind her, kind of like interrupted through the trees, you can see a group of what looks like kids who are kind of following her, but they all look like she does. Kind of spectral. Caleb, come on now. You come with me.
But Caleb doesn't look like that at all, right?
He doesn't. Not currently.
Someone you know, son?
Dusty just turns, kind of almost forgetting the voice here. Rose, is that you? And I think he takes a couple steps in that direction.
I'm gonna look at Virgil. Like someone you killed?
Now, wait. Dusty. Listen. You know I know a thing or two about spirits, and that sure as shit ain't something you want to mess with. So
That's my wife, Virgil.
I know. I understand that. But do you see her?
Yeah, Dusty, not to be mean. That's
Yeah.
past tense.
It's the first time I've seen her in years.
Mm-hmm. Why is she here, Dusty?
Maybe I'm on my way to fulfilling my bargain.
I came to pick up
She's coming
Caleb.
back to me.
Dusty. It is very good to see you. But I didn't come for you. Not yet, at least. I came here for young Caleb.
Virgil will rack his revolver. You come anywhere near that boy, as much as, God damn it, Dusty.
Same.
You come anywhere near that boy, I will start slinging spells in your general direction, ma'am. You leave him alone.
You think I came to harm this boy?
Well, I mean, no offense, ma'am. I don't know you, but from the looks of you and the rest of the kids you got back there, no offense, Dusty, I don't necessarily trust putting this boy in your care. You seem to have forgotten, let's just say, aspects of the living.
Dusty, at the sound of these weapons being racked, quickly drew the tomahawk, and it took like a half turn towards the sound of these weapons, and just kind of as he locks eyes, or as he, I guess, kind of sees Virgil, and Virgil's looking towards where Rose is standing. I think he kind of closes his eyes for a second and shakes his head and looks at Virgil for just a minute, and then it's going to kind of put his arm out with the tomahawk sideways and just kind of lower, kind of make an emotion as if to kind of simmer down. And he's going to turn back to Rose, and if you're not here for me yet, then I don't think it's time for you to be here. I don't know exactly what you want with Caleb here, but he has found help. And I believe I have the helping under control.
You can't help Caleb, Dusty. Not anymore.
And why
Caleb's
is that?
lost. She kind of looks down at the boy and kind of like crouches down to get kind of more on his level. Aren't you, Caleb? And he says, "Yes, ma'am, I am." Right now, you're kind of scared and cold, confused.
Listen to
Yo, Caleb, that's called being alive.
She says,
I
"But he
cocked my
ain't.
right.
He ain't alive. Not anymore. He just hasn't realized it yet."
I guess the same goes for all of us, doesn't it, darling?
Marco, can you check him?
Would I be able, either you or me, I feel like one of us could check and see if he's actually dead.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I just spend my time trying to figure out what she is.
Okay.
Dusty, I don't mean to break news to you, son, but your wife is dead. She's a ghost.
I am well aware of that, Padre.
Well, you say that, and yet you're still, look, I'm not one to judge anyone's relationships. I'm not in that situation, but this is kind of the definition of grasping at straws here, ain't it, son?
I'm not entirely sure what you mean. I
I mean-
am getting my wife back one way or the other, and this doesn't seem to be the time, and I realize that, but it doesn't mean that I don't care for her still.
I'm not asking you not to care for us, but I think we should probably have a conversation about what the other is. Standard means ain't going to get there. But the son, I mean, last I checked, he's alive. I'm not an expert on this, but
Any of you who look in Caleb's direction, he's looking down at his hand, and his hand is turning white and starting to take on the same glow as
Yes.
her and the other children.
tell you what, Rose, did I catch her name or am I making that up?
Yeah, it's
Dusty at least said it, yeah.
Dusty has said it, yeah. Rose, is it? Why don't you visit us at the church? We'll see if Lux or you determines whether or not the boy is ready for your guidance.
That boy's not going to make it to the church. I'm telling you right now, he's lost and wandering. I'm
Yet he
offering-
found your husband.
I am offering to take him to a place where his soul can rest in peace. That's what I've been tasked with in my afterlife. I'm a shepherd.
He ain't dead yet. He's still
Yeah.
breathing. And while he's breathing, he's not yours.
What I'm telling you is that he ain't. His body's not even here. He's back in his bed in his homestead.
Dusty's gonna try to pick the boy up.
You reach down to pick up the boy and you lift. And when you lift your hands up, you have your coat in your hand. And Caleb is still where you went to go pick him up, standing there. But you can see that he is transparent. That he is white and kind of glowing.
Jeremy, I just rolled a nat 20 on perception. Can I
Okay.
tell where he came from?
Yeah, whenever you kind of like turn and look back, you realize there are no tracks behind this child. Like, and he was like waist deep in the snow. So like there's no way that he would have not left like a trail behind him. But you don't see any sign.
Okay, so we have no idea then where we
As
could
for-
take off to. And
As far as like what direction, I mean, you know,
Yeah.
like as far as like the layout of Thunder Ridge, that there are kind of homesteads in a couple of different places. There's not a lot because of how quickly the terrain changes elevation around here, but that there are a handful of them kind of lower in the valley, kind of back in the direction that you came from.
how
Just
far
further
away
out.
would that be?
Um, probably about a half-day ride under really good conditions. So with the
Okay.
snow, probably at least a day.
Gotcha.
Probably shorter as the owl flies.
True.
So we've all seen the kid sort of disappear then, right?
So yeah, he hasn't disappeared, but he hasn't taken on the same metaphysical state. You see, Caleb, you're not the first one. And she kind of like turns and gestures some of the children back behind her. And some of them kind of like start to come out from behind trees and come a little forward. She said, all of these poor children were lost one way or another. Died. And I've been lucky enough to find them. Like I said, we're moving on to greener pastures. Now, if you want, you're welcome to try to ride forward and let the people know that Caleb and his parents are dead. I'm sure that they might have family or somebody that might want to know. Or if it's your inclination, she kind of looks at Dusty. You could ride back to the homestead and help yourself to whatever's there. As for Caleb, if he wants to, he's going to come with me. She kind of like holds out a hand. And Caleb kind of turns and looks at you again, Dusty.
I think, guarantee you Marco's looking at Dusty now.
I did appreciate the jacket, sir. Very kind of you. I'm sorry that I took it. I would have told you I was dead if I had realized it. I swear I didn't mean to play a trick on you.
I think Dusty stands there looking at him for a moment and then kind of takes a knee. It's all right, son. No tricks. No, you didn't mean any tricks. And I think you found the right path now. I think you won't be lost anymore. Rose will take good care of you.
He kind of nods, and he looks, and he kind of takes Rose's hand, and he looks in Virgil's direction, and you can see like a little bit of like fear or trepidation as he kind of looks in Virgil's direction. I think I would prefer to go with Miss Rose. She takes his hand. She stands back up. And she turns and she looks at you, Dusty. And she says, "It won't be a lot longer, my love. We'll be together again."
I'm counting on it.
All right, I gotta get these children home. She kind of looks down at all the little kids who are kind of gathered around her, almost like a school teacher. And then she turns and she starts walking back into the woods, and all the kids kind of follow her until the glow that they kind of give off fades into the general like glow of the snow and the moonlight.
Dusty, still on one knee, just remains there for a minute. Perhaps you guys might even hear the sound of liquid splashing onto the snow. And he just kind of says under his breath, she finally got the children she wanted. And then after a few more seconds, kind of slaps a knee and stands back up, puts a hand on his horse and gets ready to mount up, looks at the rest of you. Well, are we going to that homestead to see if there's anything of value there, or are we continuing on our quest to the church?
Kid said there was nothing left. No food. Play for us. I say we send the sheriff. The old sheriff, not the new guy.
Goodson, the new guy. Take care of him out there.
Potential. So we go to the church. We then send the father in to say he received word that the whatever Caleb family is
Yep.
in dire straits. Anyone know where this Caleb kid lived? We're just sending the sheriff somewhere we don't know.
Church might know where he lived.
He is blind.
Well, that doesn't mean he can't give directions. He just may not have
Yeah.
seen the home.
Guarantee you hasn't seen it, but we could check, I guess.
He might not have been born blind.
All right. So it sounds like, at least for the time being, heading on to the church. Okay.
I wanted.
Are we all just going in together?
Yeah, they're used to seeing. Again, he's not used to seeing us, but he's used to us being in there. We were all there last time. I'll announce myself as I go through. All right.
As you all mount back up at the scene that just kind of unfolded and start to head your way towards the church, all of you kind of catch on the wind as it shifts the slight sound of a banjo being plucked. And very, very faintly you hear laughter. That's where we're going to take our break. So we will be back in 10 minutes. Go to the bathroom, refill your drinks, smoke them if you got them, kiss your spouse, etc., etc. And when we come back, we'll finish the second part of session 14 of Thunder Ridge. Hello, everyone, and welcome back from our break. We are playing some Thunder Ridge tonight. This is a fantasy western D&D 5e campaign that takes place in the world of Caldera. This is session 14, Claim Jumpers. We have just had an encounter heading back towards the town with Dusty's dead wife, or her spirit, as well as a spirit of a small child named Caleb, who didn't know he was dead. The ghosts have just kind of like made their way back into the forest, and you have mounted back up. We hear faintly on the wind the sound of a banjo being strummed and laughter. What is the conversation like the rest of the way to the church?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what are you gonna? I haven't ridden with you all too long, but I'm just not gonna talk about this. No offense, Dusty. I could have mentioned your wife was. Like, you know what? I've never asked about your wife. That's my fault, Dusty.
Actually, you guys know, that Dusty actually told y'all last night
Oh, okay.
that his wife died because he told everybody in the cave about the
Oh, that's
smiling man and everything.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So Dusty told y'all last night that he made a deal with some creature to get his dead wife back, and then the next morning we see his
Shows
wife's
up.
spirit walking through the snow collecting children.
So
I will say it's a long night. I forgot that you did that.
yeah, I think there is this
It's
moment.
like a
I
couple
think
months
maybe
long.
when we get to the church, I think Virgil kind of.
I would, sorry to interrupt, Chad. I
Oh, no,
would
you're good.
actually like to kind of either before we get, if you want to do it at the church, that's fine.
Yeah,
But
that's
at some
fine.
point,
Where you wanna-
Dusty
where you
wants to
wanna stop.
talk to you,
Yeah.
one way or the other, whether it's like pulling our horses back or doing it at the church.
I think
But
we can hang back. I think that's probably wise. Like, so you want to talk about that before we address it with the rest of them?
Well, the thing that I would like to talk to you about and see if you may have some insight into. You know, I did make a deal with this thing to get my wife back.
You made a deal with an entity.
Yeah, well, now I'm kind of questioning if she's been tasked with shepherding children that are lost in this world to the afterlife. How is my deal going to affect that? If she does indeed get brought back.
Well, Dusty, here's the thing. In my line of work, most people that I have seen swing on that tree of mine, they don't get a chance to come back. So I don't know who you made a deal with. You said something about the smiling man. Would I know that entity, or would I know the grinning man offhand, Jeremy,
you
do
could
think?
roll a religion or maybe
Sure.
a history.
Sure.
Either one of those.
Both of those are flat zeros, but we will
All
try
right.
our best.
I feel like you did this last time,
Mm-hmm.
and
Maybe.
I feel like the
I think
the only information we got was that deals with this entity don't usually end well with the people that make them.
Well, there you
Gotcha.
go.
Well, I rolled a 16 this time.
Yeah.
So
You again realize the same. It's definitely an entity that you have heard of. It's nowhere near as strong of an entity as the Gallow Tree.
Okay.
It deals more in contracts, favors, things like that,
Okay.
but it is very much known for twisting its words and, you know, promises that are kept technically, but there's almost always like a catch somewhere.
You ever now understand, Dusty, I've already made a deal with my devil. That's already something on my neck and waiting like a weight come down on me. And I won't fault you for making a choice based off of your desires to go and seek help from another entity. But a devil who speaks as though he has your best interest at heart usually don't have your best interest at heart.
Yeah, I've done made the deal, and I'm realizing that now, but I'm more concerned at this point with those children's best interest.
Mm-hmm.
Rose may. Dusty kind of stops and looks down for a second. As much as I would like to have my Rose back, she may have found her place. Virgil, we tried. We tried for children. We never. What wasn't in the cards for us. That hand was never dealt. Now she has multiple children in her care, and she's presumably doing good for them. Have I made a deal to rip her away from that? Is that going to hurt her? Have I set these children to wander, these children's spirits to wander the
He kind of
in-between?
sets a talon on your shoulder. Now, Dusty, I can't tell you that. I can't give you the answer or the grace that you're looking for because I damn sure ain't no pastor. But I tell you this, okay? I have been carrying the weight of the roots of the gallows tree for almost my whole life. It is a very deep weight. But sometimes, if you are called upon on pain of death, sometimes you find your purpose in an afterlife as opposed to in your real one. So what I'll say to this is, I respect you for wanting to get your wife back. And if that is something that you would like, I will help you do that. But understand that what you just saw, I see regularly, but none of them spirits that are out there for me. They don't serve a purpose like your wife does. If I were you, I would take this moment, I would look at it, and like you said, perhaps she is on her own path now. So, in time, maybe your dearest rose becomes the same thing as my gallows tree, or this grinning man, or some other entity along these wild wests. And it's better, I suppose, if you could not raise her or bring her back, that she at least exists and hadn't faded on the wind. She's got a purpose. You got to find yours.
I know my purpose, and I'll be fulfilling it real soon. Also, Virgil, I appreciate you telling me that you can't offer me grace because I'm not a pastor. However, I do believe that I gave up any grace I had left when I joined this little gang here. And he says that with like the little bit of a smile that he can muster.
Well, I don't tell them that it's an easy road. I never do, and they always seem to show up. So, I'm just glad to have you. And I'll be here for whatever you need.
All right. You arrive at the church, maybe kind of parking your horses out back. You can see as you ride into town that they are, in fact, already starting construction on a what looks like it could potentially be a sawmill. It's built right on the river that kind of runs through part of town anyways. And it looks like the intention might be to float the logs from the river from further up the mountain down again to Thunder Ridge here in the prospect that hopefully at some point the railroad will be connected here. But you make your way into the church where you find Father Darnilfu is his name. Father Darn, as some people call him. He is again kind of an elderly elf with a probably some human heritage in there, judging by the fact that he's got like a full bushy beard. It's definitely kind of grayed a long time ago. He's got cloudy white eyes that would render him completely and totally blind if not for this sugar glider companion that is kind of hanging around the church, who just through the behavior and interaction you very quickly again recall that he seems to be able to see through this creature's eyes freely. So the moment that you enter the church, he kind of stops sweeping and kind of halfway turns towards the door. Back so soon?
It seems as though we ran into a spot of trouble and necessity, Padre. So we won't be here long. Just need to grab some warm clothes from my friends here, and then we'll be out of your way. Oh, Dusty, who's that kid's name? Pickett something? Pickett's.
Caleb.
Padre, you know Pickett family?
Pickett's. Yes, I reckon I do. Family lives out in the valley.
No, sir. Lived out in the valley. Past tense. You don't want to let the locals know. Perhaps you could do us a favor and let the new sheriff know to go out there and check it out.
He kind of casts his head kind of to the floor with a little bit of like sadness, grief. And you actually can see like his hands kind of somewhat tighten. His gnarled knuckles kind of tighten a little on the handle of the broom. I'd rather not ask, but it isn't something you had anything to do with, is it?
No, sir. Not my specialty, not my concern, nor Lux's. In truth, we tried to assist the child, but someone else got there first. But fortunately, it seems to be somebody, and I'm going to look at Dusty, who had their best interest at heart. Seems as though, according to the spirit of the child, they pass naturally due to the cold. But, as Our Lady of Radiance does indeed deplore lies, I will not tell you that my business does not require the sheriff to be out of town, and that I will not take advantage of that. So, if you would give him the word, perhaps you should do it through an intermediary.
You would like for me to send Sheriff Bennett on his way to check on the pickets, then?
I think it's best we just think that perhaps I would appreciate it if you would help send Sheriff Bennett on his way.
He nods. Well,
And with that, Father, I will endeavor to ensure you do not ever, well, pardon the phrase, see me again. My sister may inquire as to my whereabouts. I did send a letter giving her my updated situation. If she does ask, just let her know that we are continuing her work and that your help was greatly appreciated.
he nods. It does seem as though our faith extends its arms in mysterious ways.
We all make sacrifices to the cause, but her light guides our path.
Indeed it does. Meeting you has been illuminating.
I ask you do not judge my family or my friends here by our action. There's purpose in it.
I can see that much.
But tell me, Father, I hate to inquire, and I know it's not your nature, but you aware of any odd comings or goings from the saloon or a basement?
I never made it to the saloon myself. Didn't even know it had a basement.
Me either. Seems odd, but in my short time here, it seems as though many things are afoot, Father. This town will be in need of guidance in the future. I will say that of those I've encountered in this town, and I'm going to look at my padres, many of them have redemption still ahead of them. But the lady former sheriff seems to have a good heart about herself.
Sheriff Searle.
Yes, not this Bennett fellow. That's why I'm seeking to take advantage of the situation I have to deal with by helping the town out, let's just say. She'll need support also. Rumor has it that the new sheriff was duly elected.
As much as anything that's going to pass for interference of the integrated realms, I suppose. They say it was duly elected, but I have my suspicions.
Nobody
I don't remember there being a vote. Not that I was told.
So perhaps when the questions arises, you would Lend your voice to those who don't remember things the same as they do. Patrons of the railroad, I believe the sheriff will need that support in the future. Near future, if all goes well.
Well, I am here to shepherd the town as best I can, show them the path that Luz shines for all of us. And if that is the calling, that is the direction I will guide them in, to the best of my abilities.
May you walk along in her light and find peace before her embrace. I fear that neither length nor peace are in my future. So forgive me as we raid your closet to help my friends here be a little less conspicuous and then be on our way.
He kind of gestures in the direction of, the small room at the back that he stays in. Help yourselves.
Leave a little something in the offering, and then we were never here. And then get these guys disguised up, and let's go to the.
All right.
Let's go see Primrose.
You easily are able to find enough schwanky priest duds to outfit your crew, the members of which you are worried about having disguises.
Rare that he would have 36 long, but still.
Inseam. He is grateful for the clink that you drop in the box, and goes back to sweeping as if he had no business or knowledge of whatever it was you were up to.
I'm going to just drop, let's say, how much do I have in here? We'll just put 25 gold in.
Very pleased with that. Okay.
Welcome to the Order, Virgil. Lucky.
You can see, like, being in these robes, there's a mixture of, like, feeling out of place, but also just looking like a Grim Reaper. So it's like this weird juxtaposition of, like, I don't belong in a church. That's not who I am. And then he looks down at, like, his vestiges, and he's just like, yep, we're gonna make this work one way or another, I suppose.
Virgil, your skull is showing.
Oh, sorry, I just
Yeah.
I think he'll just tuck it in, like, a little, I think he'll tuck it in one of the, like, the little pouches, and then he'll put it inside the hood seam so that if it floats, it's just going to float up inside the hood and not be able to, float around him.
The hunch looks natural on you, Virgil.
The hunt, yeah, like, just it'll add a little extra neck hunch.
Just what Virgil needs.
I'm going to reconfigure my armor into the infiltrator mode so that it's smaller and I can fit it underneath.
A set of robes? Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
I'll make sure I'm in my vestments and whatnot, but not hooded, because I don't mind if I'm out there with it, so we can walk along. And then Elias and Dusty, you guys were both good, right? You planned on staying naked?
Yeah, I'm good.
Go.
I mean, I've got my fur on.
Oh, a saloon. This should be interesting. Let's see if there's anyone fun,
Okay. So it sounds like the plan was to head where? The saloon? Or
yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the sheriff is going to get our supplies and whatnot. Right? We asked the father to send word to the sheriff that the family die, which will probably take a little bit, and it's going to take him a while to wear it out there. So as long as we catch him on the way out or way back, we're good. Next thing is to find out what's going on in that basement.
Okay. I might have misspoken earlier. So the basement and the saloon that they're talking about and the inn, that's all the same place. It's the not Primrose Saloon.
Got it. That's where
What is,
I think we just made the assumption it was the
Okay.
original saloon, not the.
Yeah.
You were talking about the restaurant and saloon in the hotel.
That one. Yep.
Okay. So
Yep,
now
yep,
we
yep.
know that.
Yep. Primrose's Saloon. What was it? The
Yeah,
Queen's Block.
I had assumed it was the Primrose Saloon.
Yeah, sorry.
Let's
That's what
go
I
get a
wanted to
room in the
clarify.
hotel.
Oh, we might not have a connection there then.
Yeah.
We can get a room.
Okay.
I guess does that change anything for us? Like,
Not really, but it just makes it less. It makes it. We don't have an ally if things go south.
Well,
They still might not have had her anyways, right?
Right.
So,
well, that and there's no telling how many of these people that are
How
planning to
many
kill
are
and or
Goon
after
Squad,
and are
yeah.
after us are all staying in this inn.
That's true. Hey, the only way to know is to observe, and so I'm
Counter
down
bogey?
to yep.
Listen, we
we
talked
blow
about
we blow the inn up. It exposes the basement.
Then we go look at the basement after the dead bodies fall from the sky.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeremy, could I get on top of the hotel without drawing attention?
Potentially. Like if you approach it from like the back or something, you might be able to.
Do you have
Yeah.
a clipboard and a reflective vest?
I have a ladder.
Yeah. You got some
Careful.
OSHA level grade stuff.
Yeah,
you
it's
have
the
invisible still?
ladder of not noticing.
OSHA being owl. It's the Owl Safety Commission.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we can make him invisible anymore. I think the person who did that died in a cave.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Okay. I thought it
Yeah.
was something
Oh,
else.
yeah.
Okay.
Died
Okay.
painfully in a cave.
Meat
losing
flaps.
blood to meat flaps.
Meat flaps.
Speaking of meat flaps, he had just left.
that's a throwback.
Speaking of meat flaps, oh,
The
goodness.
Batwing.
Okay, so you are able to fly, right, Elias?
Yeah.
I don't want to assume that just because you're an owl person, but I'm pretty sure.
Hey, doing so
That's specious, man.
Well,
I
Virgil
used
can't
to-
fly.
Virgil's wings are broken.
He's
So
Kenku
Yeah.
or
I
what?
don't want to hear that.
I can fly.
Okay.
Can't really run either.
I'm basically an ostrich at this point.
Kind of a
So
flamingo.
just have two legs, actually.
His foot
Yeah.
modeling career is over. Okay.
He wasn't very talented at it, anyways.
Oh, God damn you.
I
Nathan.
still got to kill all of y'all,
Yes.
so don't be making jokes.
If you have points of inspiration,
gotta
you should
earn.
lose one. No, I'm just kidding.
You have -1.
The next time I give you
the GM gets a
inspiration,
point
you
of
don't get
inspiration
it.
towards an additional D20.
Amazing.
Oh man.
Okay. Yeah, Elias, you can certainly kind of like wait for there to be a a conspicuous moment to just give a couple flaps of the wings to light up to the top of the hotel. It's a
Cool.
2-story building, so it gives you a pretty good vantage point. You're able to see a good portion of the town from up there.
Cool. I want to do a couple of things. I got a nat 20 with +7 for stealth, so I'm at 27
Okay.
as far
Yeah.
as getting up
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, nobody is even out on the streets currently, and as you land, you make sure to do so, very softly, so that anybody's in, the second story, they're not even going to hear you on the roof.
Okay.
You're golden.
Is there any entrance to the hotel from the roof, or is it just straight roof?
No, yeah, it's just going to be straight roof. Like you could drop down from the roof onto like a balcony on the second story, but in order to gain entry into the building from there, you'd have to go into a room.
Okay. Is there an easy way for me to look at the individual rooms without necessarily having to bounce from one balcony to another, or
Not really. I mean, you might be able to like maybe like put an ear to the roof in different sections and maybe try to get an idea as to how many there might be that way. But visually, yeah, you'd have to look through a window.
okay. In that case, I'll do a perception check just to see what I can hear and maybe discern, but otherwise I'll just
Okay.
post up mostly to see what everybody else is doing and if I need to take care of any business.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be a dirty 20.
Okay.
Good rolls to get done.
Yeah, absolutely. So you kind of like hunker down, twist your head to the side, and kind of put it close to the roof, and you can hear a lot of the kinds of sounds that you might expect to find in a motel in a town in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a winter storm. Yeah, there's definitely bed springs creaking and noises that accompany that in more than one of the rooms. But you hear like low voices in conversation. Seems like mostly people kind of talking about being stuck in the town for winter, boredom kind of setting in, things of that nature. But one of the rooms, the one that has the largest balcony outside of it, you catch a voice that sounds an awful lot like Tuttle, the man that you saw on the stagecoach. And he seems to be talking to someone else that he is giving the I just completely totally lost the way that I was going to phrase that. He is letting them do most of the talking, and he's just responding. He is definitely like what is the cowing to them? Not quite like cowing to them, but it's obvious that he's not the one in charge.
No more kowtowing.
Exactly.
I was typing the same thing. I will not kowtow. I am ascending.
You hear this voice that is doing most of the talking, asking how the ritual is coming along. And Tuttle tells him, he says, "Well, sir, frankly, I'm doing what I can, but being in the proximity of that device is, well, it makes things difficult. Well, I don't really care that it makes things difficult. Get it done sooner rather than later. Time is not our ally in this, especially with these bastards throwing everything that they can into the works." You hear a third voice that chimes in, and it says, "Perhaps I could help with that." This voice sounds like Soul.
What
even
the
I'm
fuck?
surprised.
Shit. How would Elias react to that? Part of me feels like I would drop down to the balcony to try and get an eye on him before bouncing to get back to everybody else.
Okay.
Or
Yeah, see if it's really if it, like what's the person behind the voice kind of situation.
yeah.
I will
Yeah.
remind you, you can fly.
No,
you
that's
don't
what
actually
I'm
have to
thinking.
really- Yeah.
So probably not necessarily drop down to the balcony itself, but take off from the side of the building and swoop around to look in that before splitting off to get everybody else.
Okay. So I will let you roll a stealth. It's going to be at disadvantage because you are a giant owl that is flying close enough to a window to try to get a peek in. Hiding while doing that is going to be difficult. So,
Do we see him doing any of this stuff? Do we know he's up doing that stuff?
yeah, I imagine that if you've positioned yourself somewhere in town where you can see him on the roof, you can see that he's kind of like had his head down to several different areas, and then he gets to this one part and he's like plastered in place for a long moment, and then he very quickly like gets up and becomes kind of animated.
I'm wondering if there's any reason I would give him a bardic. It feels over the table. So, nope, you're on your own. Figure it out. That's what I said. Figured out.
All right, so it's going to be a stealth at disadvantage, please, Todd.
Right, first one was a 17, second one was an 18.
Okay. On fire. All right. You kind of like move to the edge of the roof, hop off, and swoop near the balcony to take a look inside. And when you look inside, you see what looks like a small phoenix fox with a slight purple glow around his eyes. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Fuck me. All right, then.
All right. So
I love this. I don't know what you're doing, Jeremy, but I love this.
Giving you a reason to take gentle repose and next time you play games.
No. This just gives me a license to actually hang soul now. So thank you. You've given me license to kill. So
I don't know if it counts if you hang a dead man.
is he dead now? If he's
Undead.
been raised and he's been revivified, like that's a new
Would
soul.
you
new
consider
day.
Dusty's wife alive?
No.
Well, there you go.
But if he's walking, talking, and doing, unless I walk up and it's a flesh bag,
he's like, "Hey, it's
that
a tree.
soul's still there.
It's a tree with nooses. It's got loopholes."
It's got loopholes.
We might
If you
have to blow up the
inspiration,
hotel.
You gotta lose it.
We might have to blow up the hotel. Elias is like, hit the panic button. Hit the panic button. Let's go right now. Click, click.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm so glad you passed that stealth though, because I have one level 3, one level 3, one level 2, and 3 level 1 spell slots left.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. We need time to regroup and we need time to regroup and
Get in the basement.
in the basement and also not blow. I'd love to blow that building up, but like
We still
we
can.
got to do this smart. We can't just be like, yeah, it's blazing.
Well, and we know that he can teleport, so
yeah,
we've got to either lock him down from being able to teleport, or
I got a feeling that little soul. I got a feeling that somebody is puppeteering that little dude. And I think if you told Virgil, Virgil would be very, very mad.
I'm just saying, Virgil, the offer was made to hang Primrose.
Yeah.
If you were to tell her that Saul is alive, you could get a 2-for-1.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
Now you have a conscience. You sold your soul.
Chad, no. Hold up. Virgil.
Wow.
Virgil does not. Virgil does not. I think sometimes I board to that line of does he or does he not. But Chad does, and Chad's like, no. Any NPCs that I care about, I don't want to kill. Any PCs that I care about, I don't want to kill.
Doing them a service.
Eventually,
Amazing.
we'll have to. It's like a diner hand that's got like 1,000 orders, and it's like the Gallo tree is just placing burger orders for forever. And I'm like, well, okay, fine. I'll get to that one. Backlogged.
Cheeseburger.
Souls, all the souls.
Well, it's awesome that we finally got back together and got to play again.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I love you guys. It's been fun.
Yeah, I've missed it. I'm glad to get more of this story on the books.
I don't know. I kind of hated it.
Yes,
Got to see the ghosts.
would.
Got to see the ghosts of my dead wife, and now Soul's back, and I got to live with killing Soul again.
No, there's just there's a necromancer in the midst of this, so we got to find that necromancer and we got to send him back to. Oh, that's me. Okay, never mind. You guys got to kill me.
Oh, they're macro.
You got to kill me next session. Joke's on you. I'm the big bad.
We moved up the timeline slightly. That's all.
All right, fantastic, y'all.
We were going to go to a new town. You're like, no new town.
I mean, life's about options, really.
I mean, the game's called Thunder Ridge. He's not going to switch it next week and be like,
just change the title out.
Windy
don't say
Peak.
anything.
To be fair, everybody in Windy Peak just says they live in Thunder Ridge because it's way easier than trying to explain to people how far away from Thunder Ridge you live because no one else knows that.
Exactly.
I felt that in my bones.
Really,
Glenn.
I know you did because you live outside of Seattle, and I
God
guarantee
damn it.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like, nah, I live in Seattle.
Every Washingtonian on the west coast of the Cascades lives in Seattle. Has to. Unless you live in Tacoma, and that's the only other spot people know.
because as soon as you say I live in Kitsap or the Kitsap Peninsula, people are like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah, right.
Bless you.
You're outside of Seattle.
Yeah, same. I live outside of Houston. It's just way easier to just tell people, yeah, I'm from Houston. Give people a close enough idea of what's going on.
Well done, though, Jeremy. Great night.
Oh man, no, absolutely my pleasure. Thank all of you very much once again. Super thrilled that we managed to, like I said, get back in the saddle. I'm gonna pass things over to my players, so once again they can plug anything that they've got going on. Say anything that they need to get off their chest, and then we're gonna call it a night. So we're gonna start with other Chad.
I know him. I've known him my whole life. Pleasure as always. Great to be around the table virtually with you guys again. No matter how much time has passed, it's nice to be able to just like pick it up and get going again. Nice to see different people's backstories getting some forefront here and seeing where that leads and how that might alter character choices and such going forward. It's pretty cool. I like that. I like how it's all interweaved into it. Nice for me, or nice for the rest of us. Yeah. I still got a little thing to clear up, but maybe next time we ask him some questions, I'll get to ask him. But for now, it's nice to wrap up more graph and be able to see where we're gonna go next. So once again, I will have to always plug Absolute Tabletop, because that's what brought me and Jeremy and Chad together and everything. So I'll always plug them, their company, as well as their just their presence. That is a very open and inviting space for RPG and this kind of like-minded community. So check them out, especially if you're looking, maybe need to fill a table virtually or physically, and or maybe you want to find a game. But that's it from me. You can find me here most of the time when it comes to YouTube. So that's about it. My pleasure. I'll hand it off to Glenn with the most.
Well, that is me. Yeah. So I will also do a quick plug for Absolute Tabletop. They're great. I've got to know them through these guys a little bit, not a ton. But if you are intimidated by Facebook or Absolute Tabletop or other chat in general, you can also find Jeremy, I believe, still on Start Playing, where you can find Jeremy and other talented DMs who are running games and force them to do things like run games after games and 9 series one-shots. Easy to do. Everyone has fun doing it. Other than that, see you all next time, and I will turn it on over to Elias Todd.
Am I unmuted? I'm unmuted. That was fun. Like being able to do that with all you guys. Yeah. Check out Absolute Tabletop. Check out Jeremy. Check out Start Playing. What else? Yeah, that's it.
Hell yeah. An endorsement I can get behind. Absolutely. Speaking of an endorsement I can get behind. Next up is Nathan.
Every time I come here, I am abused.
One in the chamber.
No, I say all of my negative comments in complete jest. I love being here. I come here as often as I can. I've said it many times. Jeremy's table and the groups Jeremy puts together is by far one of my happy places, and I look forward to knowing that's like I look forward to this all day. Knew we were getting together and playing, especially this group finally, because it's been so long. Getting to be back in Dusty's character and knowing that specifically with this game, we're gonna hit some really heavy moments that are gonna be like devastating to our characters, but you know, the next second we're going to be making Talon job jokes. If you don't remember that, go watch last session, because Virgil immediately started out by saying he was going to beat some people off. Yeah. Things like that happen in this game, but
I forget half the shit I say, so thank you, Nathan, for reminding me that
I forgot
these things come out of my mouth.
Forgot to until I rewatched the session and laughed all over again. But yeah, so we get that kind of stuff, and then get to see, you know, our characters' dead wives walking around, leading the souls of children into the afterlife, and so, you know, best of both worlds. I'll make it, I guess, short and sweet as I can, and just also mention that I am wearing my shirt again tonight. So yeah, get them big old Critty shirts.
Don't be too impressed; they're not natural.
Absolutely amazing. I have one of those shirts now. My wife got me one for Christmas, of all things. So yeah, I actually just wore it the other day. I love it. Okay. Speaking of, my wife just got me one for my birthday, and I'm loving it. Last but certainly not least, Chadley.
I'm gonna take that as the sweetest sentiment that you've ever given me. But
They're always meant with the sweetest.
Man. Anywho, yeah, guys, I'm in here all the time. I think I have a cot in this digital, you know, bunkhouse that is Erasmus. Anywho, my name's Chad. You can find me on MTD on Thursdays. You can find me here whenever Jeremy wants to have me. You can find me here tomorrow as your GM with for Punk is Dead. And yeah, I'm super stoked for that, but literally I've been missing this game so much, and you guys are so wonderful. Cannot wait for next session. Cannot wait for whatever else you have to throw at us on this wild western ride. It's pretty great, man. I had a lot of I had a lot of fun today. I feel like I didn't roll a single die, and I don't care. It's like that. It's that level of I had fun just getting to play these characters and be in this world, and that's, I think, a blessing as to what you do for your settings, right? Like we could literally BS for 4 hours and never move a muscle, and I'd be okay with it, you know? So yeah, that's me. Thank you so much. I've had a wonderful night, and let's ride again soon.
Fuck yeah. Thank you, Chad. Yeah, man. Like I said, Caldera has been something that I've run for 10 years now, off and on, pretty regularly. And I've always really had a soft spot for it. I grew up watching westerns, and I wasn't particularly into them whenever I was younger, but I started getting into them whenever I was a little bit older. And I really liked a lot of the tropes that kind of kept popping up, and then hit on the idea of mixing it with fantasy, and it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. And it became a really fun headspace to kind of like create something that had its foot in both genres at the same time. And so it's a really fun place to invent stuff for. So I'm very thankful that that y'all are enjoying it. I love that y'all are getting the chance to explore it, and I'm getting to share it with you, and that you guys gave me such well thought out, well-rounded, in-depth character background information so that I can do stuff like throw your dead wives at you. That sounds strange, but strange is what you come here for. That's what we do here on the channel. So, yeah. For all of those who may have watched this game, whether you watch live with us or whether you may tune in at some point in the future, thank you very much for spending time here on the channel with us. Again, it is incredibly meaningful to me as a creator, as a storyteller, that people find what we're doing entertaining, worthwhile. So I appreciate the fact that you spent the time to check out part of our story. If you did enjoy yourself here, do all the stuff that the algorithm likes to see. Hit the like button, subscribe, share the link around, comment on the video. Yeah, visit Start Playing, go to AbTab, check them out, go to Mini Terrain Domain, say hi, watch other stuff on the channel. You know, find me on the socials. I'm there. I'm not difficult to find. Yeah. Do all the stuff. Okay, what else? Oh, remember, please, that kindness is a free action. It costs you absolutely nothing to be kind to other people, and for the umpteenth time, for fuck's sake, the world needs it. Like, please be kind. Like, it costs you absolutely nothing, and it could make all the difference to somebody. So, again, that's an easy trade. It's a very easy trade. It costs you nothing. You give nothing away by being kind. But you do change the world. If every interaction is led with kindness, the world's different. I promise. So, be nice, fuck ice. That's the new saying.
Yep.
All right. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here. So until next time, may your dice roll high and your snacks always be within reach.